Hello fellow humans and welcome to the Madhouse. I'm Josh and today is another instalment in the Madhouse library. I figured I'd have a go at a book haul video. They're rather popular in the booktube community. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. And I have bought a lot of books in March. When I say a lot of books, I don't mean one or two or even 5 or 6. I have bought maybe 16 books and probably spent around 50 quid on them, if not a little more. I really shouldn't have done. Heaven knows I need to save the money. But I love them. It's not that I have no self-control when I see books. I'm grieving, yes. I'm grieving for Terry Pratchett, that's it. And on that note, I suppose, a lot of the books I bought are Terry Pratchett. There is a series that holds special meaning for me. The Bromeliad or Gnome trilogy, that's Gnome with no G, about a society of gnomes that lives in a shopping centre or a supermarket, which is closing and they have no idea about the outside world. But there's a group of gnomes from the outside world who come into the store and they lead them to their home. I'm not telling you where that home is, although Wings offers a big clue as to that one. I also bought Dragons at Crumbling Castle. Dragons at Crumbling Castle is very funny. It's a collection of 14 short stories by the late Sir Terry. And it's got takes on traditional ideas of what stories should be. It's fantastic. It's truly brilliant. I mean, it's also very pretty. I also bought 2 Pratchett audiobooks. The audiobook of A Blink of the Screen, which is a series of short stories on all things, including some Discworld short stories. I have to say the Sea and Little Fishes in this is truly brilliant. It acts as an almost direct prelude to A Hatful of Sky, and it's brilliant. There was also the audiobook for A Flicker of the Screen, which I don't have a paper copy of. But it's essentially a collection of Pratchett's writings and his musings on everything, ranging from his thoughts on book tours to a transcript of his Richard Dimbleby lecture, all about the necessity of assisted dying. It's a truly phenomenal read. Then there is Sir Terry's and Neil Gaiman's Good Omens. It's truly fantastic. It's about the apocalypse and an antichrist who doesn't want the world to end because he's quite happy living in it. There's so many nice things in it, like toy cars and ladybirds, the kind of things every demonic entity wants. That's less Pratchett than I expected, actually. I thought I'd bought more. But there's another Neil Gaiman, The Ocean at the End of the Lane. Truly remarkable. I loved it. It's such a deep story and so beautiful. It's fantastic. I loved it. There were 2 books by James Rollins. There was Black Order and The Last Oracle. Both, well, no. This one is exceptionally good. I've read it before. It's about autistic savants and their abuses throughout history. Abuses of them, not them abusing. And Black Order, I don't actually know what it's about. The synopsis is not particularly elaborative, is that a word? I hope so. But essentially it appears to involve monks and murders and Nazi Germany. The Beautiful Mystery by Louise Penny. I have to say, I haven't finished this yet. I'm quite enjoying it. It's also about a murder in a monastery. I wouldn't have picked it up actually because I thought it was one of those, well, I love to use the term because literature and things like that, or whatever you make it, chick lit novels that you find in the works 3 for £5. It's not. It's so much better than that. It teaches me that I shouldn't judge a book by its cover, for which I am grateful. Although I suppose if you didn't want to judge books by their covers, you wouldn't make books that look this pretty, would you? There is The Shock of the Fall by Nathan Filler. I haven't started this one yet because I haven't had much time for personal reading, but it seemed pretty good. I'll read the blurb out to you, which is an extract from it. I'll tell you what happened because it will be a good way to introduce my brother. His name's Simon. I think you're going to like him. I really do. But in a couple of pages, he'll be dead, and he was never the same after that. It's already got such a great feel to it. It looks fine too. There's changes in font throughout it, and some illustrations, although to be honest I prefer books without. There's also Mad Adam by Margaret Atwood. Again, I haven't read it yet. I started reading it, but then I realised it's actually the third in a trilogy, a finale, which, while I sometimes can do that, with a writer as good as Atwood, I feel I really should give it the respect it deserves and start from the very beginning. So I'm now looking for the other ones. I think Oryx and Crake might be the first one, and I can't remember the name of the other. I was also given The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern by my good friend Raven, who should set up her channel soon. It is amazing. I'm only 50 pages into it, but I'm already in love. It's gothic and dark, and I would say magical, but I'll go beyond that and call it enchanting. It is truly amazing, and I can't wait to finish it. But I also don't want to finish it, because that will mean it comes to an end, and I hate that. There were 2 books from my university. There is Angelika Overrat's Neue Tage Roman in einer Nacht. I'm not really too impressed with it. I've given it a start. I really don't want to be reading it. It's not that enjoyable. Maybe it's because I've had to sit through it with a dictionary on hand to work with it. It's not particularly funny or witty, it just is. Maybe there's subtleties I'm missing out on it, or the fact that it's so much work that makes me lose the enjoyment, but it's not there. My favourite genres are science fiction, fantasy, comic variations thereof, political satire, and occasionally thrillers and historical. But this is none of those. Maybe not my thing. On the other hand, another German book, which is actually a play script, Max Frisch's Biedermann und die Brandstifter. You may know this by the name The Arsonists or Biedermann and the Firestarters. It is a work of genius. It is funny, it is clever, it's semi-historical in that it looks at the rise of fascism in pre-World War II Germany, using arsonists and conmen who trick themselves into people's homes only to destroy them as representatives for the fascists. Such a wonderful study into human nature and how it works, but it makes you laugh along with it. It shows you the deceptive power of such dark ideologies. Unlike this one, a truly fantastic read. There are 3 more books which I ordered but sadly haven't arrived yet. There is Rivers of London by Ben Aronovich. I've heard good things about the series, and I know that the 3rd one in the series has a lot of references to both Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, particularly Pratchett's Watch series. There's also A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. Or Schwab. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. It's not a name I've encountered before. But I've heard good things from the booktube community and from a friend of mine who recommended it. I believe it's something about someone travels between alternate versions of London and they have different colours based on the type of society and magic they have there. And the main character is an ambassador between them. It's such an interesting concept, and it looks really pretty on the cover too. The last one, and I really do mean last one, this was about 10 minutes before March ended, is All I Know Now by Carrie Hope Fletcher, the actress, singer and YouTuber. She is truly brilliant. She is currently playing Eponine in Les Miserables at the West End. It's due to be rather good. She's had a very interesting life in growing up, somewhat different from many young people, and it's advice for that and her observations about it. Now, given that I'm 19 and legally an adult, one could say that I've grown up, but I often still feel like a 12-year-old, trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. Maybe everybody feels like this, I don't know, but I can't speak for what's going on in everybody else's heads, no matter how much I try. It's set to be fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to it. Not every video on my channel is going to be book related, I can promise you that, because I'll get bored of it, and so will you. But I'm making the most of being at home surrounded by all of my books, and I missed being able to read. The Easter holidays have been kind to me. I hope to see you next week, or at least pretend to see you, because I'm sitting here talking to a camera. Anyway, I hope you have a nice day. Why not share this with your friends to make me exceptionally happy? And a little message for you all. Happy reading. Tschüss and bye.